Stoops App. I'm Brad McMullen along with Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops. And coach, before we talk about the South Carolina game, let's first unpack Texas. There were some good things, but obviously not the outcome we wanted.
Yeah, do we have to unpack it?
Yeah.
It's been unpacked all week. We had our moments early. Defense comes up with a big turnover, and we get the first field goal, go up 3. You think we're, and then things just, we've got to play more cleaner football, meaning penalties, turnovers, those kind of things. We've got to learn to not hurt ourselves first, and then just play as well as we're able to. But obviously, Texas is a really good football team. You got to give them credit. But I'd like to see us play just cleaner football.
We talked about it last week. You can't turn the ball over, plain and simple. And OU did that. It cost them a lot. And then even when the defense did great things, the ball literally bounced the way of Texas in that end zone.
Yeah, and that's sometimes you're on the bad end of breaks. I mean, there's a huge break possibly right there. If we recover the football, we don't. So, those are, that's the way it goes. But again, I credit Texas. They looked really strong overall. Played them a bunch, played them for 18 years, and I thought that was one of the better teams I've seen from them. But we've got to play up to our standard too, and that's what we've got to work on.
Young players really starting to step up for Oklahoma. Eli Bowen, my goodness, that guy, true freshman. He was a lockdown guy on Saturday.
He played great, and that's a real positive looking to the future. And I'm sure as you want to, people that dissect every position, there were other players that played well, but Eli Bowen definitely is a guy you got to keep watching, and good for him.
All right, let's fast forward to a crucial game here at Owen Field. South Carolina, very talented, played Alabama literally to the very end, had a shot at winning that game. They played well throughout the season. Again, LSU, a field goal cost them late. This is a talented team. Don't be fooled by their 3-3 record.
Absolutely. Beat the heck out of Kentucky, took, Alabama to the wire. From what I see and watched a little bit and talk about, their defensive line is one of the better ones in the SEC, some great talent. So we're going to have to play well. But they've also lost 3 games. So we've got to be able to do that. You got to be able to put together, a great defensive scheme offensively, make some, create some yards, make some points, and you got to be able to win here at home.
All right, when you talk about importance of finding a way to win, making things happen, a lot revolves around quarterback play. Michael Hawkins will be starting again for the Oklahoma Sooners as a true freshman. There were some good things and some bad things. Obviously, he's looking at that film. What does he have to do to put OU in a position to win?
Yeah, you've got to be able to make the plays that are there. When they give you an open receiver, you got to be able to hit them. Take care of the football. Don't force things. There's always, whatever coverage they're playing to whatever scheme you're running, there's always a gimme or an easier throw. Take it, especially first and second down. Third down, sometimes you got to, create a longer throw and force something a little bit more. But take what's there early in the downs. Create some plays with your feet, and then, as an offense, you got to be able to convert some third downs, a lot of third downs.
Yeah, and of course, what a difference a year makes. Last year, Oklahoma, top 10 offensive team in the country. This year, we're not even ranked in the top 120 offenses. It's got to go on Saturday. All right, let's talk about it. OU favored by 1 point at home in South Carolina. How do you see the Sooners doing Saturday?
I see us getting it figured out and winning, in a strong fashion. I just feel that. Of course, I would. This is my team, so hopefully that's how it works out.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the best as well. Oklahoma has got a big challenge against South Carolina as they're going to need to play their absolute best. All right, moving on to the other games of the week. You've got Texas, Georgia. Georgia traveling to Texas. The Longhorns ranked number 1, Georgia ranked number 5. Georgia finds themselves as a 5-point underdog in this contest.
It's interesting. It's hard to pick against Georgia the way they've played the last few years, but watching Texas in the last several games, and Georgia has struggled some, I take Texas at home to really feel good about what they're doing, get over the OU win, and be in a position to win this game in probably 7-8 points.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Primetime ABC game of the week. The Bulldogs again, nearly a touchdown underdog. I can never pick Texas. Sorry, Georgia. Georgia's going to win. All right, moving on to the other games. Miami at Louisville. Miami 6-0. Louisville 4-2. Miami favored by 4 points in this contest.
At Louisville.
Yes.
And Louisville's played well.
At home, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to take Louisville. That eventually Miami's skated by some games, and don't get me wrong, they've played well. Their quarterback's incredible, so I love that guy. But I just feel Louisville at home. Some reason I feel like they're going to get something done.
Yeah, and if you look at history of this game, usually high-ranked Miami teams have gone to Louisville and lost big games. So I like your pick on that one. I'm going with Louisville, especially with the points, 4.5. All right, Nebraska 5-1. They have that one loss on the year, traveling to Indiana, kind of the surprise team of college football this year. Indiana favored by 6.5 points.
Yeah, you said Indiana's
favored.
Well, you got to give it to Signetti.
Yeah.
Google me up. All I do is win.
I
love that. And when he said it, I was like, wow, that's something. But he's backed it up. So I'm all for that. Good for him. And I'm going to go with Indiana. If it's at Indiana, that guy's got something going. He knows what he's doing. And don't get me wrong, I think Matt Rule and Nebraska are on their way to really improving. But I just think Indiana, after all they've been through all these years, kind of like us when we had Nebraska here in 2000, has something to prove. And they're going to be really ready for it at home. So I'm going to go with Indiana.
Yeah, his first speech to the fans was a basketball game. And if you haven't seen it, Google it. He goes out and says, "I hate Purdue." And everybody gets really excited. And then he says, "And I also hate Ohio State. And I hate Michigan." And everybody went crazy. And everyone's like, well, he's not going to do well, right? They're 6-0. It's going to be an exciting game. And I think it's interesting. I think with the points, I like Nebraska. But I think the home team's probably going to find a way to win.
Yeah, but, again, they're both great coaches, and love it that Nebraska's really got this resurgence going. College football needs that. But love Indiana, who's from out of nowhere. This guy's doing a great job.
Yeah, going to be a fun game to watch. All right, let's talk about Auburn at Missouri. Auburn, statistically, a really, really good team if you take out the turnovers. The turnovers have cost them dramatically. Auburn only 2 wins on the season at Mizzou, but Mizzou's only favored by 4 points in this game.
Yeah, I still take Missouri. They're, I think, just a more complete team. And, when you're halfway into the season and all the mistakes Auburn's made, that doesn't tend to just go away. Being that it's at Missouri, I'd go with Missouri.
Yeah, I'm going with home team on this one. I like your pick there. All right, Alabama at number 11, Tennessee. Just a few years ago, Tennessee beat number 1 Alabama. This one, Tennessee is an underdog by 3 points. And again, South Carolina played Alabama really, really close. What do you think about Coach Heupel taking on Alabama at home?
Yeah, I want to take Tennessee being at home. I'm just worried about how they've looked the last 3 games offensively. And even here, the game offensively was okay, but not what we were expecting them to be so dominant offensively. And to me, something's askew there. And Alabama, I think, will have something to prove. And anyway, so I'm just, for those reasons, I'm just going to go with Alabama.
Yeah, this is the game, when we talked about it last week, where you want to run if you're a gambler. This is one you run away from. Because I don't know what Alabama team's going to show up. Is it going to be the Alabama team that played Georgia? Or is it going to be the Alabama team that looked awful against South Florida and did not look very good against South Carolina last week? And then Tennessee the same way. Is it going to be a consistent Tennessee team that knows how to throw the ball down the field? Or is it going to be the Tennessee team we saw against Arkansas that couldn't do anything? And then Florida last week, why Florida didn't go for 2 in the win, I have no idea.
That surprised me. But this Alabama game is at Tennessee.
It's at Tennessee.
I'm going to change my pick. I'm going with Tennessee.
Going Tennessee.
Being at home, 110,000 or whatever they got.
You've
I
played
think
there.
that'll
It's
make
not
the
easy.
difference. Oh, no, it's not easy at all.
Yeah, all right, so it'll be a fun one to watch them. All right, Michigan, number 24, at number 22, Illinois. Michigan favored by 3 points in this one.
And it's at Illinois?
At Illinois. I don't like that number. I think Michigan, I think Illinois is going to do well in that game.
I do too. They played really well.
Yeah.
And I'm not, Michigan is through the quarterbacks and whatnot, it hasn't been the Michigan team we've seen the last 3 years. So I'm going to go with the home team, Illinois, Coach Brett Bielema. I hate to pick against one of my former players, Sharon Moore. Wish him the best, but I think Illinois at home, they got Michigan coming in, they're going to have something to prove.
And Illinois showed me a lot when they won at Nebraska. That's Nebraska's lone loss, and the quarterback play has been really consistent. They're 5-1 for a reason, and they're at home.
Agreed.
And again, Michigan against USC, some other things, they looked really good, but some things you look back on and you're going, boy, Iowa, some of these other games, Washington, there's a lot to be discovered still about that Michigan team. All right, LSU at Arkansas. Now, Arkansas looked bad early on. Now they're 4-2. They beat Tennessee. They're at home again. LSU is a 2-point favorite. It's virtually a pick 'em.
I'm taking Arkansas at home. I think they feel good about what they're doing. To me, they ought to be 5-1. They totally blew the Oklahoma State game. They outplayed them in so many areas. And I love their quarterback play, everything they're doing. So I'll be honest, I haven't seen much of LSU, and I know they've improved from early in the year, but I'm going to take the home team in Arkansas.
All right, since I'm marrying a girl from Louisiana, I'm taking LSU. LSU beat Ole Miss last week. I think they may have some confidence now, some real momentum where they're able to say, hey, we're building blocks on there. But boy, that Arkansas team plays really, really well at home.
Absolutely, and they're a solid football team, so I could see that totally them winning.
Yeah, welcome to the SEC where it just means more, and there are a lot of really good football teams. Oh yeah, and remember that Vandy team? They're pretty good as well. For Coach Stoops, I'm Brad McMullen saying, remember, for videos anytime, just tap on our video link. Boomer Sooner, everyone.